Good morning, everybody, and welcome to story time number 8. As promised, I'm going to start by reading you Lorna's poem from 1JMP, and then I'm going to read you a story that everybody in the whole wide world should read. It's so brilliant, called Where the Wild Things Are. You might know this story, and if you do, you can join in with me. Okay, but first of all, I'm going to read Lorna's poem to you. So it's called Easter Time. At Easter time, we like to eat chocolate cakes and all things sweet. We remember Jesus and how he died. He came back to life so no one cried. Lambs, chicks and fluffy bunnies all come out of their mummies' tummies. In the garden new flowers grow, daffodils, tulips and lots more so. Let's celebrate Easter, Daneshill School. Decorate your bonnet and look cool. Roll your eggs down a steep hill. Easter time is such a thrill. What an absolutely beautiful poem, and what a lovely thing to do over the Easter holidays, Lorna. So unique, so creative. And I loved how neatly you wrote it up and then sent it to Mr. Jarvis. He was completely thrilled and very, very proud of you, as am I. So let's all please give Lorna from 1JMJ a huge round of applause for her beautiful Easter poem. I know her favourite line was, and it's a really good line, lambs, chicks and fluffy bunnies all come out of their mummies' tummies. So it's very clever because she's made each line rhyme. So that's even more special. Well done to you, Lorna. Okay, here's our story for today. Where the Wild Things Are. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind. There he is in his wolf suit. And another. Oh, look, he's charging down the stairs at his dog. His mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, I'll eat you up. So he was sent to bed without eating anything. He does not look very impressed with that. Can't speak to Mummy like that, Max. That very night in Max's room, a forest grew and grew and grew until his ceiling hung with vines and the walls became the world around him. Wow. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through night and day. In and out of weeks, and almost over a year, to where the wild things are. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. Oh, look at the wild things. Can you see them? Till Max said, be still, and he tamed them with a magic trick of staring into their yellow eyes without blinking once. And they were frightened, and they called him the most wild thing of all. There he is, staring into their big yellow eyes without blinking once. Well done, Max. And they made him the king of all wild things. And now, cried Max, let the wild rumpus begin. going to have a splendidly big party. Dancing by the light of the moon. Can you see? In fact, we went out and looked at the moon last night. It was really looking beautiful. Uh-oh. And now they're hanging from trees. And now they're dancing through the jungle. Look where Max is sitting. Now stop, Max said, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all things, was suddenly lonely, and he wanted to be where somebody loved him best of all. I wonder where that might be, where somebody might love him best of all. Have a think. Then, all around, from far away across the world, he could smell good things to eat. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. That's him looking a little bit lonely and wondering where he could go next. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." And Max said, "No." The wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and simply waved goodbye. You see Max in his boat waving goodbye there. And they're all saying, "Max, don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." He sailed back over a year and in and out of weeks and through a day. He looks very determined, doesn't he, on his way home? And into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. I wonder what it was. I wonder what Max had for supper that night. Maybe you could have a think. And the dinner was still hot. Wow. I wonder why the dinner was so hot. Why do you think the dinner might have been so hot if he'd sailed away for a year and a day? Have a think about that. I hope you enjoyed that story, and I really hope, more importantly, you enjoyed listening to Lorna's poem. So, until tomorrow, have a lovely day today. Make the most of today, even though it's a bit wet outside, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye, everyone.